Hello everybody, this is Woolrig and welcome to episode 8 of Agrarian Skies. I'm not going to do applied energistics. Not right now. I have a better idea. I've created a 9x9 platform onto which I will be placing some stuff I've built. So, among them, I've got 6 pulverizers, I've got 3 magmatic dynamos. These are lava generators, just of a slightly different variety than we've seen so far, and a bunch of various piping and tubing, and I think I've got pretty much everything I need. I've run into a bit of an issue, though, trying to build this out, and basically I have used all of my redstone. So I have no redstone left in there, none left in there. So I need to get started on this. Fortunately, as I said, I've already pre-built quite a lot of this. So the system is going to draw a fair amount of power. So I've got 6 pulverizers I'm planning to use here. Each one of these will pull 40 RF a tick. So 6 times 40, you do the math, 240 RF per tick. That is going to make it really hard to power this with leadstone energy conduits. So I have upgraded them, as many as I could anyway, to hardened energy conduits. These guys will move 400 RF a tick, and the problem is that they take a slightly bit more redstone and some invar. So, to get this all going, first things first, let's make some power. Put the energy conduits down first, and that way our dynamos should automatically move in the right direction. And if I've done this correctly, once I flip that switch anyway, the lava generators will take off. I've got this guy disconnected. The extra utilities lava generator doesn't stop itself, so even though this internal buffer fills up, it still tries to generate more power, and it will just sit there and consume all of my lava, which is why I've decided to switch over to thermal expansion and its magmatic generators, or dynamos, because once these guys fill up, it should stop using lava. And that will make us quite a bit of power. The next thing I'm going to do is place some of these pulverizers, and I'm going to make sure let's see, I think I want to go into 1, 2, 3. I want them facing this way, because I can't use the front side to pipe anything in or out. And if I do that, then I should have... Let's go ahead and put the rest of these down. I should be able to put 1 space in between these if I've done the math correctly. And I should have 2 spaces on that side, 2 spaces on that side, which means we are fairly centered. So the plan here is to essentially have these first 3 along this axis, 1, 2, 3. These guys are all going to have cobblestone fed into them, and they're going to produce gravel. So this one at the end is going to produce gravel, and then it's going to output it, because that's all it needs is gravel. This one's going to make gravel, which is then going to feed into here and make sand. And then the last one is going to make gravel, which makes sand, which makes dust. And that'll feed out. So that is the plan right now. Let's see. The next thing I need to do is get this first one powered, because I don't have enough. And this is why I built an extra layer here, so I can run some piping underneath. I think I can reach 1, 2, 3. Wow. Wow. I did kind of pre-stage some of this in my head a little bit beforehand, and yeah, that was extremely fortuitous. All right, this guy should be mostly keeping up. This mariculture tank, I can't see how much fluid's in it, so I have no idea. But as we can see, these guys have kept up very well with the power. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we've got a pipe in. First thing, actually, I'm going to make sure I'm enabled on low. That's fine. I'm going to come here, shift left click in the center, and that's going to unconfigure all of the sides. Then I'm going to configure the top as an input and this side, the left side here, as an output. But I'm only going to output from, oops, sorry, input. Input is blue, so that is that field. This is going to be an output red. This one doesn't have any secondary outputs, so that's fine. This one, we're going to input from this side. We're going to output red on that side, and we're going to output orange on the top, or yellow, I guess that would be. Because if you'll remember, as I said, the cobblestone to gravel, there's no secondary output, but gravel to sand and then sand to dust both have secondary outputs, so we need to address that. And that's where the configuring the outputs as such allows us to do that. So now we need to feed in some cobblestone. How do we want to do that? Well, I'm going to put an item duct on here, and then I'm going to come over here and grab this barrel. But if I just break this barrel, I'm going to have one heck of a mess, because just like a chest, if I break it, it drops all of its contents. So instead, Java makes this really nice little dolly, which I can right click, and I get slowed down, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and left click it there. Or excuse me, I guess that would be right click. Place him right there. Sure, why not? And I just happen to have a spare barrel ready to go. Shift right click it to lock it. And now I've got a way to basically just kind of ferry my cobblestone back and forth. Side note real quick, this dolly works on more than just the Java barrels. It works on any chest. So like this one. Yes. That one. Yes. All the chests. I don't think it works on these guys. Nope, that's okay. So yeah, that's a nice, quick and easy way of moving stuff around. All right, we need to load this with a servo. We're going to flip the servo around, and then with an empty hand, I'm going to right click and change it to ignore. And that should start to fill that with perfect cobblestone, which is then making gravel, and gravel is making sand. And then sand is making dust. The last piece of this, so where's our item duct? This needs to come out here. We're going to come out a little ways and then go up, I think, 2 spaces. So where this is all going to eventually feed into is a sifter, and the sifter is going to look something like this. There's going to be the autonomous activator and a sifter, and the pipe is going to feed into the top of the autonomous activator. So where this hopper is now, there's going to be a pipe there to feed in. So that should be, if we use a piece of cobblestone as spacing, the autonomous activator right there, and we'll have this guy here, right? No, that's too high. Right there, that guy. So that'll feed into the top. Actually, you know what? I can do it one better, the autonomous activator, I can feed it straight into the back. So I don't even have to go up that high. Cool. Now I'm already getting secondary outputs, which is unfortunate. For now, I'm just going to have this feed into a barrel because I'm not ready to put the sifters up yet. I've got to make sure I flip this guy around, and I shouldn't have to put a servo in here because it should, yep. Because the pulverizer will eject the item. I don't have to worry about pulling it out. The other secondaries, for now, I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Oh, yeah. So this is... Right, this is one of the troubles with the older version of thermodynamics and the item ducts. So you see how it's red like that? What that means is that basically the cobblestone has tried to go out and then it bounced back, and so this is back stuffed. So it's got stuffed items in it. And you'll see it's kind of ticking down slowly. It's one way of the item ducts basically managing the entities flowing through the pipes. So that is perfectly normal, because eventually we're going to be able to work our way over here and fill all of these guys. Actually, I should have enough item duct to do this already. Like that and like that. Cool. And that should clear out the back stuffing, but it's always going to be back stuffed. That's just what I can do, actually, is I can change, instead of moving an entire stack, I can tell it to move a single block of cobblestone at a time. So then, basically, the worst it's going to do, it's going to take longer to fill these guys up, but it should be fast enough. And the worst it's going to do is backstop a single block, or maybe do 4 at a time. How about? Cool. How are we doing here? Nice. So one of the reasons I started with this is because I need dust, obviously, to make redstone. So that is where I'm at now. Let's go ahead and get these secondary. I do want to use, so like I've got dust in here. Wait, dust. No, that is right. This one has a secondary. It does. Okay. Shoot, this one doesn't have a secondary. Because dust can't be broken down into anything else. Or sand can't be broken down into anything else except dust. This one, cobblestone, does have a secondary, so I've got to figure out how I want to handle the secondaries better. Actually, you know what? I've got an idea. Let's go ahead and on the back side. So this is the back side one here. Let's put this out and out. And as I said, the front of these, I don't believe I can feed into. Oh, I can. Okay. I didn't think I could. I can't program them as anything. That's fine, that's fine. I can't go underneath because the power is going to go underneath. So I have to go off the side like this somehow. Ooh, you know what I need? I need micro blocks. Let's go make us a saw. So micro blocks are these guys. These forge micro blocks. They're the partial block pieces. And to make that, I need a saw. So let's make a stone saw. No, let's go ahead and make an iron saw to start with. Needs a piece of iron and some stone, which I should have. Oops. And some sticks. Sticks looks like I've got wood. Okay. I've got wood. This episode is PG, apparently. Anyway. Sticks and stones. So this, and let's make the stone rods first. 3 stone rods like so, 2 sticks like this, and a piece of iron. Gets us an iron saw. Cool. Put that away. And I think what I'll do is I'll see if I can use the limestone just so it matches. Does that work? Sadly, no. Okay. Can I use cobblestone? There we go. So what we do is I take the saw and a block that I want to work with, and depending on where I place it, so if I place it below, that gives me a cobblestone slab that way, which I guess is the only way. Sorry, I'm thinking of later. So now, if I place these below, I can cut the slab in half again, or I can cut it in half the long way and make a pillar. So tall or long. I want to go tall, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these again. That makes a panel, and if I cut it one more time, I can get a cover. And these covers are going to be handy because I can do a few things. I can go and place them on top. So this is why I wanted to make it out of limestone, because I wanted it to match. It won't. Now with this guy, I can't put a cover here because if I did, it would break it. So if I go ahead and put a cover in, let's see if I can get one here that we can see. If I put a cover here, you'll see it breaks that. And I don't want that. So instead, what I will do is I will take these covers and draw them in a circular pattern to make hollow covers. And now, if I go here and place it inset, the pipe goes through the hollow cover. Cool, huh? But what I can also do with this, I can take advantage of the blocking that it does, and I can come in here and place shift and oh, not the hollow ones. Hollow one is not going to work for this. Shift click, shift click. And the trick here when you're placing these is to pay attention to the lines. So you can see when I put my cursor in the center here, it's flat. If I move it over to one of the edges, into the black box on the edge, it kind of follows into that zone and stands it accordingly. So that's kind of the that's really the easy way to try and manipulate these. And you've got, of course, the block edges. So I could take this guy and I can actually stack these if I wanted to. And these are 2 separate blocks now that I can break. But anyway, this is going to allow me to now take my item duct like so. And this one I should be able to just block off completely. There we go. And then, so those guys are set for input, that's fine. I should be able to move this torch. I think for right now, I am just going to, let's grab this. Just to keep things moving, I'm going to throw this there, and then I'm going to turn these this way. And that should just start throwing stuff into this chest. Right? Yeah, there it goes. So I had to wait for an operation for it to go. Yep, looks good. Cool. Well, I've got some more sifting to do here. I'm going to let these sift for a little bit and come back when hopefully I've got some more redstone. Okay. All of these machines are running. And I'm running out of lava. I kind of expected that. It's not gonna keep up. Boy, it's trying though. So let me walk you through this, because I added some more pipes, if you hadn't realized. So yeah, got to thinking the secondary outputs, I want all of that. So there's really no reason to separate it and store it differently. So what I've got here is dust, sand, and gravel all being produced in these 3 barrels. And what's happening is that the secondary outputs are coming off the back, as I showed earlier, and then they're just connecting into the rest. And then I've got these pipes over here connecting. So what we've got are the red here, the arrows show the input, and the blue arrows show the output. So yeah, basically I've got, you know, kind of a mess of pipes, but not really. I mean, it all makes perfect sense when you draw it out like this. And so yeah, the secondary outputs for gravel is, you know, primary is sand, secondary is dust. That'll come into here, and it will just find its way over to this barrel, because this is the only barrel that dust can output in, because the outputs know what, or the pipes know what they can output. And so in this case, it knows it can only put dust here, sand here, and gravel here. Now the important thing is to come in here and lock these. So shift right click to lock them. That way if I pull all of the dust out of this, it doesn't forget that there's supposed to be dust in there. And I went ahead and just covered the rest of the conduits just to make it all nice and neat. Each one, you know, just the hardened conduits going in there. And I did move the barrel. I didn't like it hanging off the edge. I wanted it to be a little more symmetric. So there you go. And yeah, now let's address our lava generation issue, because our power is all dependent on lava right now. It looks like I need to increase my lava output. So let me get some more cobblestone slabs and do that. Because as I said, I was anticipating this, and I have already got a few crucibles ready to go. I wanted to have everything ready for you guys for this episode, so there's really not much of me humming and hawing around. And netherrack, and let's just do 3. Why not? Netherrack. I could do all 4. I don't know if I need all 4. The 4th one. I'm going to surround this off. This is just to help contain the fire. I don't have... sorry. I don't have my flint. The fire won't spread on its own. Flint, flint, flint. If you see it, tell me. Hey, here's a little trick. If you double click, you can search and highlight. Pretty cool, huh? I do know some versions of NEI had issues with that. I think that was early 1.7.10 days, so shouldn't be a major issue with this mod pack. So let's go ahead and light that up, and then we're going to put our crucible there and there. And then this, I need to... Let's go ahead and do something similar to what I have on the item duct. Here we go. Similar to what I have on the machines over there, I want to probably not put a whole bunch of stuff out there. Where'd my iron chest go? Again, let me know if you see it. I lose things. Oh, I didn't move it. So, there we go. Grab you. And, I don't know. Let's take a bunch. I can't fit anymore, so that'll have to be enough for now. This I will probably change later, but again, it's kind of quick and dirty. Change that to an input. Put the servo in there. Right click it with an open hand. And this one I am going to change to one at a time because otherwise it could get messy. And it really only needs to put one block in at a time anyway, so this should be fine. It'll be fine. Trust me. Okay. And the item duct is going to work just like the hopper, where it's going to put one at a time, and then eventually this should back stuff. Yep. And if we look away and come back, there's two. Okay, so they got two in there. And then the next thing I need to do, I am short one servo because I need to put the servos on here. Click that, and that'll start sucking lava out. Need to make one more servo, which needs glass and iron and redstone, is it? Yep. Cool. Perfect. Had all the stuff I needed. Love it when that happens. There we go. Alright. So now I've got 3. I'm not sure if a single crucible with netherrack under it can keep up with the dynamos, but we'll see. So 505. You're getting pretty low. Looks like that guy is actually climbing very slowly, so we might be a net positive on this whole process. The goal being that eventually this tank will fill up with lava, and that'll be a good sign that everything's working. How's this guy doing? Fortunately, this auto packer doesn't have a huge power draw, and it only draws power when it's actually doing stuff. So yeah, it should run for quite a while on 500,000 RF. Okay. Wow. There we go. That is, I think, a wrapping up point for this episode. Not bad. We're getting close. So my goal here is to these guys shut down because they're out of lava. Yeah, it's okay. It might take a while. I think this whole system's going to balance itself out. I really do. Because since that's net positive, it should be able to, once that fills up, yeah, this guy should kick in. We should see it starting to fill. And it's not going to keep up. So this is going to be something I'll have to watch and kind of figure out. I don't know what the exact math is for how many crucibles I need per generator sort of thing. It looks like maybe 3 for every 2. That sounds about right. If that's the case, boy howdy, we're going to need more crucibles. Lots more. Anyway, yeah, I've got dust, sand, and gravel. So this is crucial because this is what's going to feed all of my ore production. So now that I've got these 3 things, I need to basically supersize this guy. So I need to make a lot more autonomous activators. I should be able to get by with a single vacuum hopper. I might put 2 down just to be on the safe side, so like 1 here and 1 there, kind of in between. Just because I'm not a huge fan of having tile entities or item entities flying all over the map, so just trying to keep everything nice and neat. Probably have to build out and move my nether wart there at some point. Not a big deal. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty slick, right? I like it. You know, it's kind of like symmetric and all that jazz. I think it looks good. I like machinery that lays out nice and neat, semi-clean lines. Anyway, this is Woolrig. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.